Hello and welcome to the Rundown. I am your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
You know, right now, Craig, it looks like two of us got drunken cameramen. I started out over here. You started out over here. Folks, welcome back to the Rundown. My name is Mike Piwowarski. I am your co-host from the East Coast. That's the coast with the most, from the co-host with the most, here on the Rundown, where we bring you 2A news and conservative views. Welcome to Taco Tuesday.
It's raining tacos from out of the sky. Tacos, no need to ask why. Just open your mouth and close your eyes. It's raining tacos. It's raining tacos out in the street. Tacos, all you can eat. Lettuce and shells, cheese and meat. It's raining tacos. Yum, 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 yum.
Yum, 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 yummity yum. Today, I had for lunch lamb tacos.
Lamb tacos. That's like a Mediterranean taco. That's more of a falafel, I think.
Probably a little bit more of a falafel, but it included some salsa, some sour cream, some cheese, and all of that fun stuff. But we actually had lamb the other night and yesterday, and had some extra meat and just sliced it all up, grilled it all up with some nice Mexican taco sauce, and bam, lamb tacos.
I'm curious, sir. Now that you bring up the lamb, did you ever find the escaped goat?
Never did find the escape goat. I'm assuming that either I'm assuming a mountain lion got it. That was quite disappointing because that was one heck of a goat, let me tell you.
Well, listen, that goat says anything about me, it's a damn liar, just so you know. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Testing. This mic on? That's
Yes,
pretty funny.
it is. You sound great.
Just wanted you to know that was funny and you missed it. No, I didn't know what happened to goat. I forgot to check up back with you on the goat.
Oh,
So.
yeah. No, we were very disappointed.
The fence climbing goat, yeah.
The fence climbing goat. That goat got over a 6-foot fence. It was quite impressive. But hey, it wanted its freedom. It got it. So that's just kind of the way it rolls. No tacos for us. No goat tacos for us.
We got gators that climb fences here.
Yeah, that sounds scary.
and we do gator tacos also. Gator tail tacos.
How does a gator get over a fence?
Well, hold on. You talk for a moment, and I'll show you the pictures. Hold on.
Okay.
Here we go.
So we're about to hear of a gator getting over a. I will tell you, if there's one thing that would ward me off of considering Florida as a place to live, it might be if I found out that gators on the regular could scale a 6-foot fence. That would work. Now, I could easily see somebody who is unhappy with you tossing a gator over your fence. That's not unheard of.
There's that.
What?
There's that. But listen, this has happened in the past, but I'm going to give you a story as recently as yesterday, handing it to you right now. If you want to bring it up, I believe there's actually some video. We could take a look at that. But this happens. I mean, people think that, there's a fence. You know, like you'll see gators in these little gator pens and zoos and everything, and then you get to watch gators. Well, we get to watch the ad first, but
yeah, we have to watch the ad first. But so folks, I'm sorry, this is a departure from the show, but I gotta see this.
Here comes the gator. Look at there, a little fence. Nope, I think I'm just gonna go right up over this sumbitch and just jump in the water over here and go get me a snack.
Okay. Yep. All right. Okay. Yep. All right. So, folks, here I will make sure I will drop this in the chat. I will drop this in the chat so that you folks can see the gator climbing over the fence. That is weird.
That's one day ago too. That's 1 day ago. So
wow.
If you go by those statistics, that means it happens every day in Florida.
All right, you have
I know
just
that's a small sample size. That's
yes,
a small sample size.
you have stunned me, Mike. Not that it's unusual for you to leave me speechless or surprise me, because you know you do that on the regular. But a gator climbing over a fence, wow, that I got nothing to say but wow.
I guess I've been living down here too long. I just thought everybody knew gators could do that. It's
Evidently,
like, oh.
evidently, we did not all know that.
It's kind of like, when we say the lock on my front door is not for my protection, it's for yours.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a fence. The gator's like, that fence is not for my protection, it's for yours.
But in my defense, that was a 3-foot fence, not a 6-foot fence. But I would imagine if the gator were big enough, it could probably get over a 6-foot fence.
Well, if you want to, no, actually, that size is where they're most agile, because when they get bigger, they weigh 400 or 500 pounds. They just they want to take the fence down. They just take the fence down.
Well, there you go.
So,
Okay. Well, hey, folks, however you listen to us, however you watch us, do us a favor. Take a moment right now and like the program and share it, whether you're watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, whether you're watching us on Rumble, on OpsLens, or you're watching us on Spotify. Hey, Spotify is great because you can both listen and watch. So if you're listening to the first part of the show in the car, then you can go inside. You can put up on your TV and watch us on Spotify. OpsLens, phenomenal program and way in which to watch us. 1080. Phenomenal way in which to watch the program, or you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. And oh no,
yeah,
okay.
Greg, we've already gone down the rabbit hole.
We've already gone down the rabbit hole. Here's another one.
Climb a 6-foot fence, so
okay,
go ahead and bring this one up.
If you don't have an air conditioner,
okay,
it takes 5 minutes.
we've got to watch this.
Tired of hot and stuffy rooms?
Get the ad coming up first. So here we go. Let's skip the ad. There you go.
An alligator in your yard wasn't scary enough. Now this, apparently, they can climb fences. A gator scaled the fence. I'm not kidding. At the Naval Air Station in Jacksonville, Florida, over the weekend, a woman was driving by. Look, there's proof right there. When she caught one, it does a belly flop on the grass and then goes on its way.
That looks like a guy in an alligator suit.
They don't plan to remove the
No, then he's got T-Rex arms.
Oh no! Oh. All right, folks, look, you're not going to get that on any other conservative talk show, any other gun talk show. You're not going to get alligators climbing over fences. You're not going to.
This is again one of the problems with social media is, if those of us in Florida have known about this for years, but it wasn't until the TikToks and the Insta Snaps that you could see this everywhere.
I'm telling you, for those of us outside of Florida, this is like Gatorgate. Okay, look, you guys have been hiding this. I'll tell you what, if you want to keep people from moving to Florida, in particular Californians, you need to do like Facebook ads on and just show that, and just target California or New York for people who are thinking about moving there, and just say gators are gonna come get you.
Oh yeah, they're like mosquitoes. They can smell that sweet out-of-state blood,
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go, folks. Gatorgate.
There you go. I can hear it now. You play this on the TV in California, and the whole state goes, "Oh hell no!
Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Oh hell no! Nope.
We ain't going.
Nope. I ain't the one. I'm not the one. Ain't moving there. I am not moving there. Needless to say, though, for me, I'm still considering it. So we shall see.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to our.
They definitely prefer liberal meat.
They definitely prefer liberal meat. It's sweeter.
It is sweeter.
Okay, here we go. On to the news stories. Just so you know, while the Obama administration may have been after our guns, clearly the Biden administration is after our gun stores. That's right. They realized that they can't necessarily get around that whole, right to keep and bear arms, but they figure, yes, you have a right to own a firearm, but guess what? You do not have a right to sell them or to be able to purchase them. And one of the things that we've seen has been when I say dramatic, I mean a dramatic increase in the number of revocations of licenses for federal firearms licensees. Now, in order to own a gun store, you have to have a federal firearms license. Now, there's a number of different licenses. and by the way, not everyone who has a license has a storefront store. But here's what they noticed. So back before Joe Biden, there were on average, about 40 federal firearms licensees revoked per year. And usually if it was revoked, it was for something pretty serious. Well, last year, in the first 11 months of the Biden administration, there were 273 FFLs who lost their licenses, or over 500%, meaning 5 times as many lost their licenses. Now, the first thing you ask is, well, wow, did they, they must have been doing something really bad to lose their licenses. I mean, for it to be that big, there must have been some gun stores doing some really bad stuff. But Mike, these were mostly over minor paperwork violations, right?
Minor paperwork violations that account for nothing more than, look, the applicant failed to put if he was of white descent or of Latin American descent. It's little stuff like that where some people just flat out refuse to put that information down. And it depends on the day of the week with the ATF if it's enforceable or not. Oh, well, we don't worry about that because that's their choice to say that. Until they want to find something to violate you for, and then they say, well, you don't have a choice. Because you have to remember, none of the rules to run an FFL, ATF doesn't put them in writing. They defy you to go find a list of rules that tells the ATF, that tells the FFL how to conduct business according to the ATF. It's not out there. They won't do it, have not done it, have never done it, won't do it. It's one of the ways the ATF uses that authority that they have over FFLs. This is it's clearly biased. It's clearly targeted, and it's clearly the Joe Biden DOJ ATF machine trying to get rid of firearms by getting rid of firearms retailers.
All right. So here, now this says right here, it says absent extraordinary circumstances that would need to be justified to the director, ATF will seek to revoke the licenses of dealers the first time they violate a federal law by willfully. Now, this is normally the standard they use. 1, transferring a firearm to a prohibited person. 2, failing to run a required background check. 3, falsifying records such as a firearm transaction form. 4, failing to respond to an ATF tracing request. 5, refusing to permit ATF to conduct an inspection in violation of the law. However, Clark and Proctor are seeing these rules pushed far beyond the realm of common sense and fairness, and local gun dealers are paying the price. So in other words, what they're saying here is those are and by the way, each and everything that is on there, unless you got a really good reason, most of it on there, I'm like, yeah, you should lose your license if you willfully do those things. The one about refusing the inspection, I think there may or may not be a valid reason for it. I don't know. Probably have to hear the reason before I determine whether or not it was valid. But dude, or the tracing request, dude. But that's not what these people are losing their licenses for.
No, and those are, for the most part, those are major events. Those are things that, listen, as a dealer that perhaps handles 10,000 transactions a year, none of those will happen during the course of the year. Listen, if you willfully change a form, or you do a background check, or you don't do one when you know you're supposed to, that's lose your license, go to jail kind of stuff. Now, the inspection stuff, for the most part, they're pretty good about that. I've had them come to me and say, we're doing an inspection next week, and I've said, meet me in the Bahamas because that's where I'll be. I have a vacation planned, and they've postponed it. And when you go away, you still have to leave somebody in charge of doing traces for you, because they need to have those back in 24 hours. But yeah, we're talking the minor stuff, like when somebody forgets to check a block on their 4473. They don't put a deniable offense on there.
Right.
Just leave a block empty, and they'll say, that's a violation, we're shutting you down.
Right. And that's exactly what's happening. Folks, this is a direct attack on our Second Amendment rights, because once again, these are entities that facilitate the ability for us to be able to exercise our rights by allowing us to be able to purchase firearms either from them or to conduct private party transfers, or to be able to purchase ammunition, or to be able to keep our firearms in decent working order should you need gunsmithing. I mean, to be able to answer our questions relating to firearms and whatnot. In particular, these small dealers, they're the ones who are also, by the way, supporting organizations that support our fundamental rights. And that's why they're going after them, because they are at the heart of our Second Amendment. And they know that once they get rid of them, the big box stores do not care about you. They do not care about your Second Amendment rights. They care about making money off of you.
Well, for
That's
the
why
most
they're
part,
going after these guys.
the big box stores have stopped selling guns. Remember, they
Right.
fell to the woke crowd. We see this a lot when people say there's no ammunition available. No,
Right.
you're looking in the wrong places. You go to your mom and pop gun store, you get ammunition all day. The places that stop selling them were your Walmarts, your Dick's, your sporting goods stores like those. They got rid of them.
Or
I think
your
the only one,
your stores in California.
yeah, any store in California. In fact,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to pat anybody on the back. I think the only place I could think that sells regular ammo anymore is like a Bass Pro or an Academy. Everybody else got rid of
Exactly.
them.
Exactly. So, folks, yeah, no, come to recognize they're coming after they're coming after your right to keep and bear arms. All right, moving right along. President Stacey Abrams, that's right, the president of Georgia, has her own group, has her own pro-gun group. These are gun owners for Stacey Abrams. And gun owners for Stacey Abrams hopes that she will get elected so that she can institute common sense gun safety laws. Now, first of all, anyone who promotes most of the laws that gun laws that Democrats want, know that they are not common sense. They are common nonsense. But they want full-blown background checks, or let me clarify, they want a gun registry. And what's funny is you got this group on here that looks like, the new Black Panther Party. I don't know who it is or who they're supposed to be. But do they not know that these common sense gun laws that were put in place were largely put in place so that people who look like them cannot own or possess firearms? That's what is so stupid about individuals and organizations like this one.
No, because they don't believe the liberal lies. Oh, look, here's a black person. She says she's going to take care of me. I'm going to let that happen. We've seen that other black candidates, other black elected officials, and Democrats in general have lied when it comes to taking care of the African American population.
Right.
It's crap. Look, all I have to do is point you to look at Baltimore. Okay, take a look at the city of Baltimore, completely black run. Look at Detroit, completely African American run, and all of those promises that they've made to you, and it's just damned lies, is all it is.
Well, and then there's the most obvious. The election of President Barack Obama, 8 years, and how much better off are black people in the United States thanks to his presidency. One can say in many cases worse off. In fact, one could say that Donald Trump, who was only in office for 4 years, did far more to advance the causes that in particular that impact African Americans or black people than did Barack Obama. And see, the cool thing about it was he didn't focus on race. He just said, these are the issues that are affecting millions of Americans. And it happened to help millions of Americans, including and quite frankly, especially black people, whether or not black politicians want to accept that accept that reality.
Yep. Craig, do you ever listen to, he's deceased now, but the comedian Patrice O'Neill?
Yes.
Patrice is incredible. His comedy would get deep and make you think for days and weeks afterwards. But I remember after the election, Obama got elected, and it was cutting around the second election, and he got up on stage and said he wasn't voting for Obama anymore because he was pretty confident come the midterms he'd have had a good white slave or two, and it didn't happen. So he felt like he'd been lied to by Obama, so he was going to go back and vote for the white guy.
Oh, that is hilarious. But yeah, check this piece out over at it's over at Ammo Land. It's a very interesting piece talking about gun owners who support Stacey Abrams. I'm sorry, you've got to be. You are not really a gun. Well, you may be a gun owner, but you are not really a Second Amendment advocate if you support Stacey Abrams for president of Georgia.
Yeah. Listen, she's about as. I know I'm trying to be polite, but she's not a smart woman, and when you listen to her talk, you're like, hell's she talking about? At least Biden's got dementia issues. She talks, and you're like, what is she talking about? That's ridiculous. That's not even anywhere close to the truth. It's like when you watch the news, right? And the news tells you about the machine gun that could shoot 30 rounds in a second, and the ghost guns that they pass
Right.
through metal detectors. It's the same story from her.
Right, because she has absolutely no idea what she's talking about, and yet and still, people will vote for her.
But she
Go
knows
figure.
she is confident, and we've seen it happen, that the impoverished African American society in and around Atlanta, Georgia, will vote for her, whether
Mm-hmm.
she's dead or alive. They're going to vote for a black person if they're on the ticket. That's
Well,
all they
hey,
do.
look, she is already what is she? What is she? The ambassador to Starfleet?
No, she's on Star Trek Discovery. She
Yes.
showed up as the president of Earth.
The president of Earth?
Yeah,
Ugh.
president of Earth.
President of
President of
Earth.
Now,
That
mind
just
you,
goes.
listen,
That just goes to show you that the future is not bright, folks.
no, it's not.
in particular,
It's not.
in particular, the president of Earth is not bright.
I will say this for the Star Trek program: they shoot in Georgia. They film in Georgia, so she probably spent the whole year, telling them all sorts of lies so she could be on that show. But
Right. Getting her full blown wokeness in.
that's it. Exactly right. Exactly right.
All right. So here's one, and this was one that we already kind of knew, and it's kind of interesting that CBS News is just now doing a piece on it. It has to do with teen suicide. And what they're recognizing in this piece is they're talking about, I felt so alone. They're talking about the rising rates of suicide and depression, and that it was accelerated by the pandemic. Now, there's one thing, Mike, about this story that I think is 100% disingenuous. And that is because it was not the pandemic that caused the things, the isolation, the fear and the worry that caused many teenagers, many young people to be suicidal or depressed. It was COVID policy. It was the government's reaction to COVID that caused these things.
Yeah, COVID caused this. Yeah, COVID. Yeah, you're right. Chinaman sneezed in Wuhan, and it landed over here with a set of policies. Yeah, that's what happened. they leave that part out, Craig. They make it sound like, achoo, I got to wear a mask. I got to wear a mask now. It's it's absolutely ridiculous. To think that the policies just showed up on the back of the COVID molecules, and we know what to do. This is government overbearing, locking everybody down, 2 years taken out of their lives, putting these kids in there, exposing them to all kinds now, right, of daily
Right.
social media bullying, right, as
Right.
opposed to being able to go to a school and have the protections of teachers and parents and all of that. Now you've just dropped them in front of computers. Let's not even talk about what we've done to their immune systems. Let's not even talk about what we've done to their social skills, their real social skills.
Well, now and by the way, I haven't looked at all of the data, but we probably want to. It'd probably be interesting to just kind of look at the states where you've seen an increase in depression, where you saw an increase in suicides, and I'm willing to bet that it's either in local municipalities or in states that locked down, that closed and stayed closed, that promoted that were engaged in the fear mongering related to COVID. I'm willing to bet you 99.9%. That's how confident I am that those are the places where it happened.
He's as confident as a heart attack.
Yep. Faux show.
Oh, show.
Anyway, folks, look, it doesn't even really matter the crisis. And I'll tell you, it's funny. I've been reading a lot about the New Deal and the Great Depression. And the more I deal with stuff, the more I'm reading, the more I find out that a lot of the issues that we deal with as a society, a lot of the most harmful things aren't exactly the disasters themselves. It's not the financial challenges themselves. It's none of those things. It's the government policy. It's the policy that we put in place to quote unquote address it, whatever it is, that 99.9% of the time turns out to be the problem.
Yeah, and I'd add to it these days, Craig, the Hollywood pressure as well. We see the policies, we know where they lean. I was watching one of my favorite shows yesterday. I was watching Welcome to the Neighborhood, right? A good show, and they were having the whole conversation aimed directly at Florida about woke books in schools right? And their whole story was a parent came in and said, "What do I need this crap in this book for?" It's a fifth grader, or excuse me, it's a kindergartner. They're 5 years old. They don't need to be learning how they weren't alive during slavery. They weren't the ones responsible for it. And of course, the response was, "Well, they weren't there for the American Revolution, but we teach that too." Okay. So you've won. You won. You had a good little quip on a TV show that didn't even give you half the information. But yeah, they try to, of course, make and it was an angry white guy who brought up the book, right? And he said, listen, I make donations at this school. I'm going to take my money and go. Just bringing up every bit of stereotype they could to make this an angry white guy issue.
And by the way, nobody, or at least most people, are not opposed to the idea of teaching about slavery. What we don't want to teach is, well, because you are white and whites own slaves, you are an oppressor and should be ashamed of yourself.
Yes.
And because you were black, and slaves in the United States were black, you are officially oppressed. And you can't be successful because the white man is holding you down. That's what they're entitled to other things. Yeah. Right. That's what they're teaching. I mean, they're not using those specific words or phraseologies, but I've seen enough of it. I've seen them talk enough about it that's exactly what they're teaching. And that's what they're promoting. So sorry. Yep. Government policies. There you go. All right. Speaking of government policies, our boy Dave Chappelle, he got some issues with the folks over there in LA. Now, a dude tried to jump on stage with a fake gun and stab him with a knife, right? Dude did get beat down. Now, mind you, maybe that's the reason why they were soft on him, but the guy only got really charged with 4 misdemeanors. And now Dave Chappelle is like, dude, you need to charge this guy with a felony. He attacked me and attempted to tackle me and attempt to do me harm with a dangerous weapon.
A deadly weapon.
A deadly weapon. And you're not going to charge him with a felony? Gascon's like, nope.
The one thing I think that missed the point in this article, and it was released by either his attorney or his publicist, Dave Chappelle's, and it said something along the lines of that we need to have, show that Los Angeles County can provide extra protection to their celebrities, and I thought he missed the mark. He had the opportunity there to say that, if this is the kind of thing that we can't even charge, that we should be charging the daily criminal with for what they do to somebody, no matter if they are affluent or not. Equal justice under the law should be equal justice under the law. You commit a felony, you should be charged with a felony, no matter who the victim is.
Well, exactly. If someone attacks you with a knife, they should be facing a felony. Period. I don't care who you are. And especially when you got video evidence with 10,000 witnesses, you should be charged with a felony. I mean, if nothing else, look, you got 10,000 witnesses as to what dude tried to do.
Yep. Exactly right. Yeah. Listen, I hope Dave Chappelle sues the city, the county, and even the state and the Hollywood Bowl over there.
Yep.
I hope he gets his justice from them.
I hope he does. Get your justice. Get your justice.
That's it.
Okay.
There you go.
Mike, now remember yesterday was Mother's Day. No, day before yesterday was Mother's Day.
Day before
yesterday was Mother's Day. So it's not too late to do.
We got some interesting statistics though that have come in. Yeah.
Yeah, we got some interesting statistics that have come in relating to Mother's Day. All right, so here's the first one. It says, for those of you who are just listening, it says Mother's Day is a day with the lowest crime. I think it says a lot about how many moms commit crimes throughout the year, but can't today because they're too busy being celebrated. Yeah. I think there's a bit of reality there.
That's moms on their best behavior right there.
There you go, Mom. See, if we celebrate them every day, we'd probably see the crime rate go way, way, way down.
Yep, exactly right. Yep, all the moms' crime would go down for sure. Yep.
Right. Okay. So for all those of you out there who did not celebrate Mother's Day but celebrate Birthing Person's Day, this one is probably a little more up your alley. So this is a picture of what appears to be a female birthing person saying, is it a boy or a girl? And then the doctor looking at her says, well, let's let the kindergarten teacher decide.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
There you go. Teaching about
It's the
some of the
truth.
woke
It's the
things that
truth.
are being taught in our schools relating to gender and gender identity. Because, you know, parents can't teach their kids about stuff like that. That we got to leave that to the schools because they've done such a good job of educating them on everything else.
Yep, it's the truth. There you go.
It's the truth. It's the
Oh
truthers.
well. Oh well. The truthuses.
It's the truthuses. It's the truthuses. All right, Maggie. Well, hey, it's about that time. Why don't you do me a favor and give a shout out to our sponsors?
I will. Listen, I got to see our good friends yesterday at Grid Defense. They said hello to everybody, and tomorrow I visit with our good friends over at Gorilla Machining. And unfortunately, Craig, I don't get to visit with the remainder of the folks that are sponsoring the program, the California Republican Assembly, but you do.
I visit them on the regular. They are good folks, and they are looking forward to you stopping by, saying howdy. Check out the website, cragop.org, or you just follow the link in the description of this video. If you are in California, you can become a member. It's real simple. It's real inexpensive, and there's a great way for you to get involved. Help promote conservatism, including support for the Second Amendment in the great state of California.
There you go.
Anyway, with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. So we will see you again mañana on Hump Day.
See you on the hump day.
See you there.